Hi, everybody. I hope you've had a great Shabbat. I know that I really needed Shabbat, and so much comes out of rest. Although rest may not feel very productive, what comes out of it is great energy, focus, clarity, motivation, inspiration. It's really, really good to rest. Guys, I wanted to talk to you today about moving forward. Life is an uphill climb. It certainly is. And our destinies will not be handed to us on a silver platter. And you've heard it said that anything worthwhile is worth working for and towards. And I've often talked about how that expression, a round hole can't fit into a square peg. And many of us over the years have tried to fit in, even in the body of Messiah. And we don't. We're not mainstream. We are one of a kind. We're all one of a kind. Everyone that God has created is one of a kind. And for me, my ministry is not within the four walls. The church is very important. But when I first got saved, I don't know, about 23, 24 years ago, my car was broken down in a blizzard on the side of the road. And God said to me, your church is in the street. In other words, I'm called to the street. I am called to shine my light in society. And we all are. But we all have a place where we serve. And we need to be true to that place in the way that God has made us and what He has fashioned us for. And I said this the other day, I want to say it again. I truly have become much more compassionate because of my own pain. Pain is very humbling. It puts us all on a level playing field, so to speak. Real, genuine compassion cannot be a put on. People know when you are genuinely compassionate, and that comes from real life hardship. So let's not curse our hardship. Let's not have a disdain for it or a contention for it. Let us understand that God is shaping us and molding us into who He wants us to be, not who we want to be. But we'll be glad when we produce fruit in our lives. We'll be glad. So I want to encourage you today, don't try to fit in. And I want to encourage you, even though life is an uphill climb, we need to keep climbing. Because the prize is great. You know, Yeshua is our reward. But here on earth, God does reward us with joy. In heaven, we'll have eternal joy. I can't even imagine what that is. Sometimes I feel like I get a taste of it. We do need to approach life, especially living here in the land of Israel and particularly Jerusalem. We need to approach life from heavenly places because life can be very challenging. But when we look with supernatural eyes, we have strength from heaven. We need to look like with a bird's eye view. And we need to stop reacting. A good way to know that we've received heart healing is when we feel like we have a choice in the way that we respond or react. That means we've had healing. Because before healing, we didn't have a choice. It was just a knee-jerk reaction. I want to encourage you. Take hold of Yeshua today. Take hold of who you are in Yeshua. Don't curse your circumstances because everything has come through God's hand. Nothing could happen to you unless God approved of it. Not that He brings on sickness and not that He brings on necessarily terrible things, but He certainly allows it and He uses it to shape us and mold us more into the image of His Son, Yeshua. God, go with you today. Don't curse your circumstances. God will show you why you had to go through them. But the way to go through them is to hold on to God and say, I trust you, Daddy. I trust you, Abba. I know you have a purpose for this. And I'm going to come out better for it. Listen, I lost my two closest friends in Israel 2 months apart. Man, it was tough. But I am not the same person today that I was then before I lost them. Nothing is wasted in God's economy if we hold on to God, and we let Him do His most perfect work in and through us. He allows us to go through these things because of where He wants to bring us to. I could never minister in the way that I do to the people that I do had I not gone through my hardships. And they're not over, I'm sure, but thank God for the mountaintop where we get to breathe and just have a respite before we go back into the valley. And in the valley is where the learning lessons of life are. And I want to leave you with this. Bless your enemies. Pray for those who curse you. Love those who despise you. That's the economy of God. And He's making all things new in Yeshua's mighty name. God bless you from the city of the great King.